Crime is really going to increase if we have a dollar crisis, because you're going to have food shortages, you're going to have power blackouts, and you're going to have an absence of police. I mean, I think the police are not going to show up for work, so it's kind of going to be every man for himself. You know, people become lawless, you know, just if the power goes out. Sometimes people start looting just because their team wins the Super Bowl. You're talking about no food on the shelves, people are hungry. You don't think they're going to steal under those circumstances? Of course. You may be a prepper, you may have a lot of stuff, but if you're too close to people that don't have a lot of stuff, they may come for your stuff.
A little bit of water storage. Costco has these bags on sale. Well, not on sale, but they have them. These are waterproof bags, and it's 72 servings. It has packets of drinks, breakfast, and a 10-liter dry bag. 25-year shelf life. Every time I go to Costco, I pick one of these up. So I got quite a bit of a little stash going on here. And just remember, something this easy, you don't have to be a prepper. But as long as you pick up something, because something is better than nothing. And it's never too late to start. If you happen to see what's going on in the world with China and you know, all these big companies like Target, and there's some food stores and grocery stores, you know, they're supposed to be laying off a shit ton more people coming down the pipeline here pretty soon. And with the impending food shortages, you know, even though this stuff is just kind of like, yeah, it's 72 servings, it's supposed to be a 7-day, yes, it's like supposed to supply you for 7 days. This is just something to supplement, like if you have food buckets, because I'm going to start doing rice, pinto beans, and chickpeas. So once I get that started, I'll get a video up of that going. Once you start your rice buckets and pinto beans, that's a good source for you to add to these dinners and to make it more, you know, hearty. So this is just like a base layer of food. Now, this isn't my only stockpile of food, and obviously this isn't my only water source. I have a big ass pool at my parents' house that I plan on pulling from the source of water from there. So this is just extra stuff, and I have extra stuff in another spot. I'm going to continue to add to my water source because I do have other dry food, not only in this location, but I also carry some in my truck, and I also have some at my parents' house. So I have multiple sources and multiple locations of where I have food and water. Now, when you start that, and guys, it just takes storing a little bit of stuff away. So when I do this and I have all my other food storages, when I go to Costco, they have trays that you can buy. And those trays are cans of food. And that's where I'm going to start stockpiling, like they have chicken, beef, you know, basically meat that's in canned. So that's in cans, and they have, you know, a couple year shelf life to them. So I'll get a couple of those, so that way you can mix in protein with your stuff. And I started slowly. I bought this just over time. Just, oh, go to Costco just to get some water and beer. Okay, well, I'm gonna pick up 1 or 2 of these, then another 1 or 2, then another 1 or 2. And that's how you start a little stockpile. Now, I do have some other stuff in my truck. I'll link right now and show you. I also carry food in my truck. I carry ways to cook it. I carry ways to boil the water and all that stuff. Because as you guys can see, the impending doom and gloom of our economy, our dollar is just going to shit. The wars going on across the world. You don't want to be caught with your pants down. People say, oh, I can't afford it, I can't do this. Start simple. You don't need a lot of money to start, even to bucket food. If you go to these grocery stores, because I work in a grocery store, and in the bakery department, they literally throw away their 5-gallon buckets with the tops on them. So if you go there and ask them to set them aside for you, they will do it for you, because that's where I'm getting my buckets from. They're food grade buckets with the lids, and because that's what they put all their big old heavy whipping cream and all that stuff. So you just got to clean it out. Then you go order the 5-gallon Mylar bags with the oxygen absorbers. Go to Costco, pick up like 2 25-pound bags of rice. Boom, throw that shit in there with the oxygen absorber. You got one bucket, then do the next bucket, then do the next bucket. The next thing you know, you're using that as a supplement to add to these meals, to put it on top of whatever the hell's in here. You know, you put your rice down as a layer, then you throw whatever else you're cooking, because this mostly is like mainly, basically you're going to be cooking it in with water. So it's going to be, that's why you need a supplement, stuff like canned chicken, canned tuna, and canned whatever canned shit that you like, just, you know. And you can keep that canned stuff for longer periods of time, just because the expiration date says it's one thing. As long as you keep it in a cool, dry place, it'll last a lot longer, so you can get more of a return on your money. So that's what I plan on doing when I go to Costco. They have these big old flats, are like, the cans are like this big, and they're in a big old, you know, I think there's like 25 in a flat or some shit. So I'm gonna add that to my collection. That's probably gonna be like $120 or so. But you gotta look at what you're getting and what you're putting away, because suppose you lose your job or something happens and you gotta crack into the food. You don't have to spend all this money on food, because you're gonna have all these resources already sitting here. So that's the way that I look at it. Because either way, I'm going to use this shit. Either way, the stuff in my truck I've used before as well. I've cracked into that and used it for meals. Either way, you're going to end up using it. You're just fronting yourself up now. And then obviously, for if something bad does happen, you have your food and your water storage. The main thing is here is, oh, and I also got new batteries for my UV5R. So I got that charging. I got another one coming along the way, because it was an extra $20 with the 2 batteries. So I got that. And also, you know, I got different toys in different locations to see my way to my parents' house if the shit does hit the fan. So, you know, it's just all about buying a little here, buying a little there. It truly does add up. Never feel like stressed out. Oh, I gotta go spend all this money on food. No, just as you go, just start storing stuff. When you buy, just buy a little extra, put it away. Every time you go buy something, buy another extra 12-pack of soda or 12-pack of water, or whatever you want to store that you feel that you're going to need. And next thing you know, you're going to have quite a bit of a collection. Now, the stuff that's in my truck is in bags already, and you just put it in water, and I'll show you guys that. I'll add it to this clip. But the thing here is just start small. People get too worked up over, I don't have enough money to do that. Well, start small. You don't have to buy big ticket items like solar generators and this and that. Start with the small things. Get the things that's going to mean the most to you. Because I could survive without fucking power. I don't care about the power. Eventually, yeah, I do want to get a solar generator, but main thing for me was establishing water, food, and a means of self-defense. All right, I got some extra supplies in the back of my truck, some soap, razor blades, just things that I might need if society collapses. I got some extra Mountain House back here. The whole back end of this is filled with Mountain House. Mountain House is pretty good. And I've got, you know, just the random shit for soap, hair, and razor blades, toothpaste, cleaning utensils. I also have ways to cook. I have my jet boil back here and fuel, and I have another source to cook just in case that goes down. You know, just all the random little knickknacks that you might need. The other drawer is going to be filled with more food and some other stuff eventually later. But this is just some of the small supplies that I have that I carry on the day-to-day basis with me in the back of my truck. And the deck system, some random shit in it. But yeah, I keep this on my shit 24/7 just in case something happens. I also have water on the other side, in the other drawer. So that's that.
The dollar's already had a long run as a reserve currency. I think that run is in its final stages. It's going to collapse, that's for sure. The question is how that collapse unfolds. All of our foreign creditors are going to repossess all the stuff that they sold us on credit that we can no longer afford. Imagine America without foreign products. Imagine going into a Walmart and the only stuff on the shelves is the stuff we made here. You don't stay in office by telling the voters the truth. You stay in office by telling them what they want to hear. And we've got a long way to go in consumer prices. They're going to double, they're going to triple, they're going to quadruple. people think that we have supply shortages now. They ain't seen nothing yet.